Hello, this is African Reading Parlor with Chimezo Demenam. AROP is a brainchild of Merchant of Knowledge Africa. Our mission remains to change the narrative of Africa as a non-reading continent and to roll away the mountain of ignorance. In this video, we'll be discussing a book I recently read, Cash Advertising. This book teaches you how to become an expert at marketing using techniques like the power of authority, following the 3 steps of writing a perfect headlines, and appealing to the 8 basic desires people have instead of spending millions on ads. Headlines are very important when you are trying to do some marketing. I recommend this book to a young blogger and a chief executive who thinks he doesn't really know anything about marketing and having some psychology of selling. This book will make you to understand your consumers better and cater their needs. And I think anyone who intends to sell should be able to get a copy of Cash Advertising, especially if you also want to sell on the internet. That's digital marketing. Have you ever stopped to watch a YouTube ad? Most often we skip them, but occasionally one of those ads catches your attention. Then what is it about those that hook you? Is there a way for you to tap into some of the things they do that makes their ad get hooked to you? That's exactly what the author explains in this book. This book will help you use the power of psychology to make appealing advertisements that gets people to buy. Lesson number 1 is that to have a successful marketing campaign, you need to know and appeal to the 8 desires of people. The 8 core desires of people need to be met. Marketing is just applied psychology. Those that are best at getting people to buy know the most about human nature. So, what is this that they know that the rest of us don't know? Those are the things that this book will be opening our eyes to. It's all about hitting the right triggers for people, which comes from 8 core desires, also known as life force 8, or you can say it's LF8. They are wired into our brains and what helped our ancestors. I mean, those who were in this marketing business before us. These desires include, for example, 1, staying alive. Everybody wants to stay alive. Food and water. Everybody takes food and water. Safety and freedom from pain. That's paramount. Sexual companionship. We are sexual beings. Good living conditions. Protecting those we love. Approval from others. Becoming excellent. Those are core buying triggers that when your headline hits them, people must surely buy. More sales comes from these 8 motives than every other human wants combined. This is because when these needs aren't met, we feel tension pulling us to satisfy them. Hunger, for example, makes us to eat. Thoughts fulfilling our need for food. The pattern here is very simple. Imagine you are selling a cat food, for example. Let's say you've got a special mouse and cucumber smoothie to offer, and you want to appeal to one of the LF8s, life forces. Outline the tensions. You will make the consumer think of their desire and make them act to fulfill it. You might try this by focusing on the owner's devotion to protecting their pets. By the time you talk about how the person is going to protect his pets, he will go into buying your product in that wise. To appeal to this desire, identify the tensions that's preventing their cat's safety. You could say the animal may go blind from not having enough taurine because the cats can't produce it on their own. Then introduce your smoothie, which has a lot of taurine in it as well, as a solution they need to protect their pets. That's very paramount. Lesson 2. A persuasive headline that gets people to click and read is as simple as the 3 things I'm going to explain now. Most titles aren't exciting enough to get people interested. It's estimated that 60% of those that see an ad only look at the headlines. So headlines are very important. That is why you need to use these 3 tips to make sure that you can grasp people's attention enough to have them continue to read. That is why you need to continue to watch this video right now so that you can get all that Cash Advertising has. Start with the biggest benefit first. Check that you are appealing the right audience. I mean, make sure it is the right audience, the right population you are appealing to. Now use action words to make the perfect headlines. Did you get that right now? Okay, let's go deep. All your customers care about is how your offering is going to change their lives for better, meeting their needs. If they don't see any immediate benefit that's significant enough to make them read on, they will leave. They will certainly not continue reading. So it pays to have the most persuasive part, which is the greatest peak, first. Next, make sure that the words you are using catches the eyes of the type of people you are marketing to. So you need to use the right words to catch their eyes. Real business successes happens when you match the right products with the type of people that really needs those products. If you are selling chocolate pastries, for example, you probably won't appeal to someone with the word masterpiece in your title. Masterpiece and chocolate has no relationship. They are more likely to go for something that appeals to their identity as chocoholics, like people that like chocolate, they are called chocoholics. And lastly, use powerful words in your headlines to catch people's attention. A good example can be how, new, free, just released. These are words that are very powerful and eye-catching that can get the right audience for you. Lesson number 3. Shorter articles don't do as well as longer ones for drawing people in. People are busy these days, you must agree with me. They probably don't have the time to read an in-depth article, right? Although a lot of marketers think this way, it's actually not true. People like to get the details of purchase they are considering. And if you give that information, they will keep reading. Even if the copy is, a bit longer, they will still keep reading. This works for all kinds of people and products. If a person really wants to buy something, they want as much as specs as possible. And the better you provide this by really going deep on it, the better your chances of convincing them to buy. Okay, let's do a practical example. Take the new MiFi I'm using right now. I did been researching it for months before I finally decided to get it. I read all kinds of detailed articles and watch in-depth YouTube reviews. Every new feature I learned about made me want it even the more. By the time I went to the stores to check it out, I bought it. This brings up another important point about advertising. It didn't matter always what the title of the article or videos were. I was so interested and I was going to buy it anyway. The length of a content I saw didn't discourage me from consuming it. In fact, it only made me more excited to buy. This same thing will happen to your consumers if you have a long copy too. I enjoyed advertising, but I also think that some things have changed in the time since 2008 when it was written. The mention of the words art in a magazine, for example, feels a bit outdated. However, the principles around human nature and online content are timeless and great tips we can use even today. This is much I can share with you from this book. Do well to get a copy for yourself, and if you need a PDF version, just indicate in the comment section. Kindly share this video to all social media platforms and make sure you are reading. Bye for now.